A lot of red in Anthony Davis's shot chart from the first two games of the finals, 60% from three-point range, and you see the interior protruding there. C-Webb, he's good money everywhere, but where's Anthony Davis most dangerous?
Inside the paint, just because of his length and because of his size. But really, when you look at AD, you see what he's doing out there at the three-point line, and he's one of the few players, in my opinion, that just doesn't have a go-to move. And I think 90% of the time that works in his favor. But in a series like this, he's had to just make sure that he's cutting to the basket, using his size in the paint and exploiting that zone, whether it's getting behind it and making passes outside or getting it in and shooting that little floater.
You know, C-Webb, you brought up a good point about that vaunted Miami zone against the Celtics. But, Smitty, why is AD kind of the zone breaker in this series?
Well, first of all, he's super talented, but like we saw with Stan Van Gundy, you can't have those two little guards, Nunn and Hero, in the back. You at least have to make that adjustment where you got to play bigger because there's no way they're going to keep guys off the glass. Let them be at the top, going against a big, large Laker team. And I think also, hey, if I'm the Miami Heat, I'm going to just double him man-to-man, pick out one Laker, and see if he can beat me from behind the three-point line.
All right, Grant, so essentially in these first two games, that zone no good for Miami as AD is tearing it apart. So how can Miami adjust and slow down AD?
Well, he's been great, and he's been great because, as you saw on that chart, the variety of ways that he's been able to score. But I think you have to really have a player, stay close to him on the perimeter. And then when he gets the ball in that mid-range and down on the low block where he's been so effective and efficient, you got to, like Smitty said, you got to double team him, give him different looks. The bottom line is whether it's man-to-man or a zone, the Lakers are scoring, and they're finding the seams to that zone. And Davis, whether on the baseline, on the perimeter, in the middle there, he's just been so effective. So, the question is, can he keep it up? I think he can, but maybe, as Smitty said, run at him and make someone else beat you. The problem is the Lakers have been shooting well. They made 15 threes in game one, 16 threes in game two. And so the question is, are they going to continue to be able to shoot from the perimeter like that, the other players? But I would certainly test them if I were Miami.
Yeah, Grant, that's a great point. Anthony Davis assisted on 5 of those three-point makes in game one, so he was a big part of that as well. Chuck, you said it in the game 2 of the Western Conference Finals that Anthony Davis seemed to lack that killer instinct. Do you think he's showing more of that in the Western Conference Finals and here in the NBA Finals?
Well, I think he got better matchups here. First of all, I can't even believe we got 5 grown men thinking that a zone defense can work in the NBA. First of all, the zone shouldn't work in the NBA. Just because some Boston Celtics were dummies and just say, let's just shoot threes, that doesn't mean a zone defense should work in the NBA. Man, it's so easy to play against a zone. All you got to do, you look at all those shots what Coach Van Gundy was talking about. Like, all you got to do is penetrate, dump it off, or you're going to get a wide open shot. If you don't get a wide open shot, you should be able to kill them on the boards. And Smitty had a great point. Why they play them little leprechauns on the back row against LeBron and AD? Them dudes just in the way. But a zone defense shouldn't work in the NBA. Caldwell Pope and Danny Green haven't made threes, but they're making enough of them, the Lakers as a team with Caruso and Rondo. And it's just like a jump ball contest. Listen, if I played against this Laker team, that playing a zone helps them. I would play AD and LeBron man-to-man, let them get 30 and 30. That's only 60. If they get 40 and 40, that's only 80. Then I'd play none of those other guys are good enough one-on-one to beat you. If you got Butler, Hero, if Duncan Robinson is a hell of a shooter, you got Nunn. Those guys can't compete with a Rondo or Danny Green or Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. But you can't play a zone against Anthony Davis and LeBron. That plays right into their hands. So it worked against Boston because they were dummies. I don't know what the hell they were doing. They didn't make any adjustments. But the notion that a zone defense can get you to the NBA Finals, it lets you know a lot of these guys don't know anything about basketball. I wish a guy would play a zone against me. I would tell Smitty, just shoot it. I'm going to get the damn rebound. Me and C-Webb down here on the box, they got these little dudes down here. Just throw it up there. I'm going to get the offensive rebounds. I mean, it's just crazy that little zone defense worked against the Celtics.
Well, Chuck, you're right. Anthony Davis had 8 offensive rebounds in Game 2. I mean, if you're coaching a team, you're looking at that number, and you want that for your entire squad. Anthony Davis got that by himself. C-Webb, I kind of want to hear from you on this. Anthony Davis, just 27 years young, 3-time block champ, 4-time All-NBA, 7-time All-Star. What do you think the potential is for his career going forward and how great he could still be?
Well, I think the sky is the limit. You know, what he's doing right now is step one of it. I mean, he's on his way to a championship. So you look at how well he's playing and how he's learning to be a leader. That's step one. And step two is trying to repeat that next year if they win. And then step 3 is going to be, can he lead a team on his own? I think that's always the question. There's guys that lead the teams, and then there's other guys. And so he's getting a chance right now to learn how to win and to be part of that winning culture that LeBron has created there. And then the next one is to see, can he do it again? And then if LeBron's not there, to see, can he do it by himself? I think that's always the major question after being in a duo like that.
Guys, I'm hearing we have breaking news. Stand by. We have to check in and see exactly what's happening right now. And we have a picture of a moment that matters most. There's C-Webb and Grant playing golf together. Okay, who shot a lower number that day? Grant?
Webb shot a lower number, but we're pointing at Chuck's golf game.
Unbelievable. Well, we've been talking about the bigs a lot so far in this show. It's time.
You guessed it, Anthony Davis. He started off shooting 14 for 15 from the field. That's 93%. He ended up 15 for 20, which is still an excellent, scorching hot 75% from the field. That's the entire game. And remember, yes, this is the NBA Finals. Let's hear from Anthony Davis now.
Anthony, you and LeBron, AD, you and LeBron are the first Laker teammates to score 30-plus in a finals game since Kobe and Shaq did it in 2002. I asked LeBron the same question. Are there elements that you see of both Kobe's game and Shaq's game in your game, and both Kobe's game and Shaq's game and LeBron's game? And if there are, could you describe them?
Those two guys are obviously special. That duo is special together. The best duo we've seen. Multiple championships, but they both are so dominant. I know they had a little sit down. They was talking about they were arguing because they both want to be so dominant. They both want to be great. They both want to win, and that's why they kind of gelled together outside of everything else that you might have heard that they were going through. But those two guys were selfless. They both had a competitive spirit with themselves to build their teams to win. And I think me and Bron's the same way. We're two guys who want to win, no matter the circumstance. We both want to. We both want to, to make sure that we do whatever it takes to help our team win. And when you got two guys that's selfless, and it's not gonna always be, pretty. Sometimes we're gonna argue. Sometimes we're gonna have disagreements, but we know it's coming from the right place. But when you got two guys who want to win as bad as we do and want to be dominant every single game, you have games like tonight. Where two guys able to score the basketball, able to rebound, and able to find guys. So it's rare you see it. We know we have something special with us too, and with this team. We just try to capitalize on it.
Match up the pair, you guys and them. Who's Shaq and who's Kobe out of you and LeBron?
He's Kobe because he handles the ball, and I'm Shaq because I play in the post.
Frank was saying no matter who Miami has in their offense, they're just really tough to guard, and obviously put up 39 on you guys in the third quarter. What about their offense kind of forces you guys into uncomfortable positions, and where do you feel you guys can make growth in 2 days?
they just play so free. You know, everybody's moving, everybody's cutting, everybody on the floor is live, which means everybody, you know, just kind of do random things. So it's tough on the defense. You really have to talk, you really have to communicate, you really have to know what schemes you in, and they put a lot of pressure, you know, on the defense. You know, for us, you know, we got to do a better job on, you know, communicating on the defensive end and being in coverage. You know, talking in the coverage and making sure guys know what we're in. We can't, you know, assume somebody's going to be somewhere. We have to talk and relay the messages and you know, the defensive schemes and the calls to one another, so we know that. So we let the other guy know what we're in, so we don't have, you know, too many hiccups and too many mistakes. In that third quarter, we had a ton of open layups, ton of open threes, and they made us pay.
All right, Kyle. I'm sorry, Dan.
Anthony, all season long, the message has been stay in the moment, don't look too far ahead. But here you guys are, 2 games from the goal that you guys set for yourselves at the 12, 13 months ago when the season began. How important is that stay in the moment message for you guys specifically right now in this moment?
It's huge. I mean, you know, this team have shown, you know, in both games that they're able to, you know, fight back. You know, even when they're down 20, 30, whatever it is, they're able to fight back and make plays. And so we can't get too high, you know, especially with this team, and they didn't even have their, you know, 2 of their, you know, top scorers, you know, 2 of their best players. So they always had that next man up mentality. And